I've always wondered, are the characters in Genshin good role models for their element? The game often color-codes the characters, and use stereotypical animations of the element. But what if we disregard this? Do the characters still exemplify their element correctly? Or are they just regular units who would be basically the same thing if they were in any other element? Of the 7 elements, the simplest is Geo. It's the essence of rock, tough in nature. Rocky units should be hard to kill and be built like a tank. Their abilities should also last longer than the same type in other elements, as rock only changes very slowly. Geo units do not care very much about reactions. Some Geo units in Genshin can build constructs, and in fact, Geo is the only element capable of building constructs. Despite this, I would not consider constructs part of Geo at all. They break instantly on contact with a boss enemy, and this is the opposite of what being a rock is supposed to be like. Therefore, constructs are an ability found in Geo, but they are not a Geo ability. Noelle, the tanky healer who wields a giant claymore, is perhaps the best and perfect embodiment of Geo. She is exactly what Geo is supposed to be about, and in fact, Geo seems to be inspired by her. Chiori shows her cavewoman nature with the simplicity of her kit. She doesn't do much, but she hits hard. Very basic, like a rock. We don't need to say much about her. Navia is another big dumb shotgun blaster, but unfortunately, she's too fast, too transient, and too aggressively minded to be fully Geo. Zhongli is not a Geo unit. He scales with the wrong stat, health instead of defense, and his buffs are universal, making him a vanilla, flavorless character who could have been plopped anywhere else, especially Hydro. Albedo is too science-y for his own good. Geo units shouldn't think that much. His flower lasts a nice 30 seconds though, assuming it doesn't get broken like the fragile construct it is. Ito is an Oni usually played in mono Geo teams. Despite this, is he really a Geo unit? The truth is Ito's only claim is his yellow-colored damage. Take the color away, and we realize is Pyro. He's quite easy to kill if you don't use a shielder with him, and even lowers his own resistance. The same can be said for Goru, who exclusively buffs Geo damage and defense. Yet, his buffs are short, and he hits like a pebble instead of a rock. Ningguang. Her mum was Geo, but her dad was Pyro. At last, we come to Yunjin, the Geo unit who explicitly doesn't like her own element at all. Well, it comes as no surprise, that Yunjin is a Geo in name only. I therefore conclude, that Genshin does a bad job of designing Geo units. Very often, they're just flinging random kits together and coloring it yellow. To correct this, Zhongli should have a shield scaled on defense, and Ito should increase his own resistance during his berserk mode, not reduce it. Goru and Yunjin should have had longer buffs. Ningguang and Navia should not have scaled on attack, but perhaps Yunjin could have stayed where she is, as an outsider of her own element.